Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm really excited because I have got a new indie brand in, and I was really excited about this collection. It is from AMI Hearts Beauty or Hearts Cosmetics? Hearts Beauty. AMI Hearts Beauty. And it is the Halloween collection. So here are the shadows. These shadows here are from the Halloween collection. I found them on Instagram, and the collection of Halloween shades was so beautiful. I bought it like the minute that it launched. Before we get into this video and talking about these shades, there are 3 days left of the fall giveaway, so they are going to end on October 31st, so be sure that you get entered into that. I'll put a link right up here where you can enter that giveaway, and a link down below with the link. Up here will be the video of what's in it. Down here will be the link of what you to get entered, okay? So I wanted to be sure to get this video up before Halloween because it is the Halloween collection. I think some of the shades are still available, but I don't know if all of them are. So let me talk a little bit about pricing. This was a pretty affordable indie brand. It is a newer indie brand. You guys know I love trying different indie brands and giving them a shout out, because how much work is that to start your own makeup company? Oh my goodness. And to be running it yourself. The bundle of the 10 Halloween shades was $27.50, and then she's got a code WELCOME20 for off your first order. So I used that code, and then it's free shipping in the US for $30 if you spend $30. So I went ahead and picked up a couple other things as well to get me up to that $30 price point. So I also picked up these two shades, and I will swatch them during the swatches. This is Moon and Cloudy, and then I picked up a Neon Loose Shadow because I thought that would be fun to play with as well. So I'm not going to use these shades in this video, but I will eventually use them because I've kind of found, so I've already filmed this look. I haven't filmed my second look because there'll be 2 looks in this video, so you can kind of see how all the shades work. I don't have a good grasp on this brand of shadows yet, so I want to do some more work on using them. So I will have used these and the loose pigment and do a full review of these shadows so I can let you know a little bit more about them, because to be honest, I had a bit of difficulty creating this eye look today. I think it turned out pretty, but throughout it I thought it was going to look awful. I think some of the shades, when you put them together, they end up looking a little muddy, and it's the way I'm used to using shadows. I had to find a different way to use these, which is fine. That happens with some brands, some shadows, some formulas. I just didn't know, you know, I've never used these shadows before, so I'll talk about that more during the looks as well. So I am not sure. I should have asked her this before I filmed this. I think she probably presses these shadows on her own, which I also think is absolutely amazing. But you can tell there's just a lot of differentiation in the pressing of the shadows. So like here's one of them. This is Frank, and you can see this one almost is almost over the pan, which I don't mind. But then I've got Candy Apple, which is way under the pan. And honestly, I like Candy Apple more, so that's a little disappointing. I also had a couple shades, which I'll talk about this during the swatches too. Hollow came, and it was a hard pan. So I just have this little art brush that I use sometimes. I had to kind of dig into it to get some of the shadow up, which I'm sure has to do with the pressing, the way that she presses the shadow, but I don't think a shadow should be coming to me hard pan. And I don't want this to sound like a negative review at all. I'm just giving you guys the facts about what I have found out about these shadows. That being said, these are very unique shades. I don't own anything like these shades. You'll see that during the swatches. So, like I said, I am going to do swatches and 2 looks with this video. This is one of the looks. Let's go ahead and get into swatches. We'll do the looks, and then at the end, I will give you a more overall first impression opinion of what I think of these shadows. So for this video, I'm going to go ahead and swatch the Halloween collection and not the other you know what, we'll go ahead and swatch all of the shades that I got so you can see them, because down the line I'll have a full review video of all of this, but I probably won't do swatches again in that video. So let's go ahead and start out with the Halloween collection. First shade I'm going to swatch is Ghost. It's a really pretty duochrome green silver shade. All right, so then we've got Frank and Ghouls. Now these shades, that's not very in line with the other swatches, is it? So these two shades right here are probably the saddest ones to me, not because they don't look pretty, but because this is what Frank is on Instagram, and it is nothing like that. And I don't know how that shade could have come out in what lighting it is, but I really wanted that green shade. If you saw my Will I Buy It, where I talked about this, this is the reason that I bought this combo. Ghouls is a little closer, but it was a little lighter in the picture. So those two I was a little sad about. And then you're gonna see, actually I'll just go ahead and do it now. There is another shade, So Hollow. Definitely a more orange shade in the picture. This is Hollow that I got, and it was hard pan when I got it, so I've had to kind of dig into it some to pick up the shadow to be able to use it. So here's Hollow. So it does have an orange undertone to it, but to me that is more of a brown than orange. I haven't played with that on my eyes, but I did eventually in this video, so I'll have more info about it at the end of the video. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into the next shade. So I'm going to do Candy next, and here's Candy. So this is Candy Apple. This is a gorgeous shade. It's what I have on my eyes today, and I am going to talk a little about these specific shadows I have on my eyes after this look that I do, and then I'll talk about the other ones after I do that look. Then the next one we have is Haunted. So this is, I mean, it really does look like a haunted brown color. It's pretty cool how she was able to come up with that, but it's just kind of a deep taupe cool tone color. I don't know, it's really cool. I used it today and had a little difficulty with it, but I will eventually try using that again to see what I can get out of that. The next one I have is Draco. This one was also quite different from the picture that was on Instagram. So let me show you this one. So here you've got a very deep burgundy color, and here we have more of a brown with a bit of a red undertone to it. Actually, I don't even know that I see much red. It more is just a brown to me when I look at it. And then we've got some very beautiful shimmer shades. The first one is, okay, mine came, I have to figure out which one's which because I have two that came with the same name on the bottom. So this one is Batsh Crazy. And this, that one looks like. So it's kind of like a silver with a greenish undertone. It's a very unique, very pretty shade. And then we've got You Don't Know Drac. This one I also used today, and I found that to get it to have the bit of the red undertone, I don't know if you could see it much here, when I sprayed it with fixing spray, and I had to kind of get into the pan a little bit before I could get that red color, but also spraying it with fixing spray. Also a very pretty color. And the last one is, okay, this had the wrong name on the bottom. It's Witch Please. This is a really this is another really pretty shade. So there is Witch Please. It's almost a silver with a bluish undertone to it. So that is all of the Halloween collection. It does look very Halloween-y to me. The shimmer shades are absolutely gorgeous. I'm still working a little with how to play with them and work them into the eye look and what brushes to use for them. But there are those shades. Let me go ahead and swatch the other shades I got. Cloudy is one that I got. This is just a blue that I don't have in my collection, so why not? It's just a really light, pale light blue shade. And the next one I got is Moon. This one has an interesting, it almost looks like it is going to be a chunky one, but when these, whatever it is in there, marry together, they do create a really gorgeous purple shade. There's that. And the last one I got is one of their neon pigments. And I got it in, does it say what it's in? It doesn't say what it's in. I'm not sure what this one is. I got the green one. They've got some different neon pigments. I'm going to pick this up with a brush. And I guess I'm going to put it right here. So obviously it's a loose pigment, and I wouldn't just be putting it down on its own, but just to kind of give you guys idea of how that looks. I would put it on a sticky base and with a fixing spray, but I think that's going to be a fun one to use. So those are all of the swatches for the AMI Heart Beauty Halloween collection. Yeah, so let's get into this look here. So for the first look, this is also the first time I'm using these shadows on my eyes. I'm a little nervous. I've never used this brand before. And I'm hoping that I really like them. But we shall see. So I think for my first look, I kind of want to do something smoky with a halo eye. So I kind of pulled together the shades I want to use. I think I'm going to use these shades right here. And then I might pop Ghost in like the inside of the shimmer shade of the halo eye to pop that color a little bit. So I have Ghouls, Haunted, that's Ghost, I think this is Draco, Candy Apple, and You Don't Know Drac. So those are the shades that I'm going to use for the first look. I also might have to play a bit with the brushes, the way I use them during this first go around with these shades. So I'm going to take, I already forgot what this one was called, Ghouls. Okay, so it looks like we've got some kick up with that shade. So here's just kind of a first dip into it. Once again, you guys know that that doesn't bother me, and it doesn't tell me anything about how the shade's going to perform. I just know sometimes people like to know about that. So Ghouls I'm going to use just in the transition area. Okay, looks like maybe patting that on is getting me some more pigment than blending it out. And it does build up pretty good. Let me zoom you guys in a little bit. Here we go. All right. Oh yeah, so patting that shade on, definitely a better pigment. Look at that. So that's just patting one dip of the color, and then this is, you know, I blended it out blended it out the first two times. So definitely more pigment patting it on. And then I'm going to leave that pretty pigmented right now, because then once I get my crease shade in, I'm going to blend those out together and it'll probably wash away a little bit of that color. I'm going to start with Haunted, which is this it's a pretty, is it cool tone? I think it's a pretty cool tone brown color. And then Draco is gonna build up that smoky eye looking. So both of these shades I'm going to use to create my halo eye. Alright, this one also has some kick up to it. And I'm using this on my pinched Wet n Wild brush. So this is just going to start to deepen up the crease a bit. That goes on pretty good. And once again, I am patting this on. So when you're working with shadows, sometimes it might seem like they don't have the pigment you want, but you might just not be putting them on the right way for that shadow. So just try a different technique when you're doing that. So like I started with blending, that didn't work. So then I moved to patting, and that seems to work a little better. All right, so then I'm going to start to create my halo eye. So I'm bringing this Haunted in on each side. So on the inner V and the outer V. I'm going to bring a little more purple right in here. So I think I'm actually going to use a pencil brush. This is the Morphe 431. And I'm going to take Draco on this. And that's going to go right there in the crease. Uh-oh. Okay, so I'm just kind of digging in. This is a natural hairbrush, so it helps to dig into that shadow a little more and grip the shadow. So I just kind of dug into it some to where I could create some kick up. And let's see if that applies a little better. I mean, it's a very deep shade, so it should really be deepening that up. So yeah, I think that shows up better. I'm just gonna kind of create a rainbow right in the crease there with that. And bring it in a little bit on the outer V. Okay, I'm not going to do too much blending yet on these shades. I want to see how it looks after I get my... I feel like they're muddying together a bit, but I want to get my shimmer shades on first to see how it looks with that before I do much more with them, because I don't want to create a really muddy look. So what I'm going to do for the shimmers is You Don't Know Drac is going to be the outer portion of the halo, and then Candy Apple is going to be the middle portion, taking up most of it. Because You Don't Know Drac is so dark, I'm not going to put my concealer on for this halo eye until after I have You Don't Know Drac on, so that I can really cut that out for Candy Apple to really pop on there. So for You Don't Know Drac, take this brush. This is, it's either a concealer brush or a detailed eyeshadow brush. It is the Morphe 124, and I'm going to get some of You Don't Know Drac on this brush, and I'm going to spray it. And that's going to go on the outer portions of where I want the halo eye to be. Okay, so far, it's going on really nice. It definitely is way deeper than what I thought it was going to be from the swatches that she showed. It had a more like purpley tone to it, but it's a pretty shade, and it's definitely not a shade that I have in my collection. Okay, this is so interesting. So I'm going to close my eyes, but I want you guys to look at this eye compared to this one. This is the first one I did. And look at this one. This almost has that lighter tone in it that I thought it was going to have. And I wonder if you just kind of had to get down in the pan before that showed up. Definitely use a fixing spray with this shade. Okay, next I'm going to use my concealer with Candy Apple, my ColourPop No Filter concealer that I use for my cut creases. And I've got a little lip brush. This is a Real Techniques one that I'm going to use to put it on. So start in the middle. Okay, so the middle, I've got the deepest part of the concealer, and then I'm just kind of patting out as I go out here. That's going to help it blend. I am happy with that. You just never know what's going to happen. Okay, now I'm going to take Candy Apple, which is this pretty red shimmery shade. I'm just kind of taking this and pushing it up with the brush because it's hard to just get on its own. And I'm going to spray that one. And in the middle, I'm going to really focus this color. Maybe. I may have to use my finger for this. Alright, definitely goes on better with the finger. So we've got that situation now happening. All right, I'm going to try a different brush. I'm going to try a pencil-ish brush here. I'm going to go back in with You Don't Know Drac and just tap along where those shades meet. Oh, I brought it in too much. So now I'm going to go back in with Candy Apple. I'm going to try with that brush again. Bring that back to where they meet. Okay, I am stopping there for that. I am going to pop a bit of Ghost in the middle of that eye with my finger. Sure how I like that. Okay, that's where I'm going to stop with the shimmer shades for now. I am going to come in and clean this up a little bit first. So let's brush off, I'm taking a new brush, the fallout. I'm going to do a little surgery on this eye here, do my under eye, and then I'm going to do this eye, liner, mascara, and be back to show you the final look. So for this here, I am going to take the brownish shade we used, Haunted, and bring this right in the crease above my halo eye. Then on the lower lash line, I want to bring some purple back to this color because I felt like we kind of lost it on the top. Oh dear. There's a lot of fallout. I don't ever really do my makeup before I do my eyeshadow because I typically can brush it off. But I think I'm going to have to fix my makeup. I'm just pulling that purple along the lower lash line, and I have a pencil brush and I'm just tapping it, patting it along that lower lash line. I want the purple to pop here. If I want to bring anything else on the lower lash line, to be honest, because I don't really want to deepen it up. You know what, maybe I'll pull a little of the Candy Apple right in the center where I have it on the upper. purple one. So this is a pinky purple shift from the Aurora Glow Kit, and I think that will look good with this shade. I like to put these on with a pencil brush. I need about 5 more pencil brushes for this look. I always spray these when I use them for the inner corner highlight because these are pretty, what's the word I want to use for them? Crumbly. They're pretty crumbly. Yes, I think that is a good match for this look. All right, well, let me go ahead, finish up that eye liner mascara, and I will be back with the final look. To complete it real quick. So obviously I've got my wing liner and mascara on. I put, I think this is in Jewel. Yeah, the NYX Slide On Glide On liner in Jewel on my inner, on my waterline. And I've got the ColourPop Ultra Satin Lip in Darling on my lips. Definitely think a liner would have been beneficial with this one, and it seems like it dried super fast, so it was hard for me to clean up. You know when you wear a dark matte lip and you like get a little out of lip line? Well, it dried super fast, so it was hard for me to clean any of that up. So I feel like I'm on the struggle bus today with makeup. What do you guys think about the eye look? I kind of felt like it's one of those looks, which this happens every once in a while. It's like I had to keep on trying to fix things with it, and then it ended up looking muddy, and then I tried to fix it, and then it kept getting more and more not what I wanted out of the look. But I think all together now with the liner and mascara, I think it looks better. If I were to go back and do this look, I think I would have kept out this haunted color. I think that might have been what muddied it up some. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the shades that I used today, but I also want you to keep in mind, this is my first time using this brand of shadow, using these shades. So, you know, these shadows may have a learning curve to them. Draco definitely worked better with a natural hairbrush so it could grip onto that shadow. And for Ghouls and Haunted, I use synthetic brushes with them, but definitely patting that on gave better pigment than trying to blend it out. The more I blended it, I feel like the more muddy they got, and they just kind of all ended up blending together, which now it looks okay. But I did add a lot more of Ghouls, the purple shade, to my transition and crease area to kind of try to block out that Haunted. Those two shades together just ended up kind of muddy. Let's see, what else did I use? This shade, You Don't Know Drac. I felt like I had to kind of dig into it to get that shimmer shade that I was looking for, but I did eventually pick it up. Definitely better with a fixing spray as well as Candy Apple. This one I'm still trying to figure out the best way to use it. I tried natural hair, I tried synthetic, I tried fixing spray without fixing spray, I put it on top of a sticky base, and I just struggled a bit with that one. Finger works well, but obviously when you're using your finger you can't get it exact as you would like to with a cut crease halo eye. So mine is a halo eye, no longer a cut crease halo eye. But I think that looks okay. I would like to be able to find some kind of brush combination where I can use so I can get it more precise, but for me the finger just worked better with Candy Apple today. So, are those all the ones that I used? Those are all the ones that I used today. Maybe like down the line in a month or so, I'll have a full review of the AMI Heart Beauty line. But let's go ahead and get into look number 2. Okay, moving on to look number 2, we are going to try to go for these shades right here. These are the shades that I did not use in look number 1. And we are going to see how this goes. So I'm going to start out with Hollow, which is more of a orangey brown than orange color, and I'm going to put that in my transition area. So, you know what, it does look oranger on the eyes, but not orange like I thought it would be. That one really pigmented, and that blended really nice. That's the one that I that I felt like was hard pan when I got it. I think I would say this is kind of a caramely orange shade. So I thought it was going to be not as pigmented because that hard pan, so I ended up with a lot more orange on my lids than I was thinking I wanted to do for this look. So I'm going to go ahead and take a pinched blending brush, and I'm just going to take my P15 from Wet n Wild that I love with this green color, which is Frank. I don't know why I always forget that one. I should remember the name of that one. And okay, so I pictured this different because I pictured less of hollow, but I do want this green. This one is really good too. It's not the green I was hoping for, but it's pigmented for sure. Definitely has a lot of kick up in that pan. And I really want this green to show on the look, so I'm bringing it up a little bit higher. And I think the lid is just going to be those shimmer shades, and we're going to do kind of a gradient with them. I'm going to start out with Witch Please, which is the darker one. On the outer portion, we're going to pull into the BSC, and then Ghost on the inner part of the eyelid. I think for this one, I am going to lay down a stickier base with these because I had a ton of fallout yesterday, and I don't want to deal with that today. So I'm going to take my NYX glitter glue. This is one of the ones I use most often. Obviously, we could also do a cut crease here, but I got mad at the halo cut crease yesterday. So I'm just laying down some glitter glue and hoping for the best. When I use a glitter glue or a pigment primer, I always do those eyes separate so it doesn't dry. Okay, that looks good. That was really easy to use too. Then we're going to move into BSC. Oh, look at that. So maybe you need this something like a glitter glue put down first. That one looks so good too. And then on the very inner corner, we're going to do Ghost, which is the duochrome. You know what? I probably just need a different shade for that because those a different brush for that because those other two are so dark. Well, this one is going much easier than yesterday. I love this Ghost. I mean, it is the perfect color for the name Ghost. I love it. And I bet this would make a really pretty topper as well on the shades. It looks interesting with this look, but we're keeping it how it is. Oh my gosh, that was so much easier than yesterday. What I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna use, we're gonna see how this works, okay? All right, this is a trial that I may end up wiping off. So I am taking Witch Please. Actually, I did a pretty good V there. I might just leave it. I just wanna make sure I'm not gonna use a liner with this. I just want to get a good V with this right here. I'm done. I love it. I love it. It definitely is a darker look and something that I don't wear as often. And probably moving forward with these shadows, I would be incorporating these with other shades that I have. For the purpose of this video though, I just wanted to use these shades so I could use all of them. and be able to tell you guys about every single shadow in the collection. So we're gonna go ahead and just gonna blend up here a little bit. I think where the green is placed, it looks really nice. I don't need to do anything with that. I am going to put green on the lower lash line. I've got a smudger brush, definitely less fallout today. So I don't know if it's the shades or if it's that I used a glitter glue today, but everything worked so much nicer. I think you have to come to expect that when you're using new shadows, because you have to get used to how you're going to use them, which is also why I'll be doing a follow-up review of this. But I'm glad I did 2 looks, or I think my opinion of it after the first look would have not been as accurate as maybe it will be now. So I'm going to go ahead and do this other eye and put on some mascara and be back to show you guys the final look. So here's the final look. I thought I'd go with orange just to kind of match the Halloween theme on my lips. So I've got the Wet n Wild Color Icon lip gloss in Pout of Paradise. But I don't think I would recommend this formula at all. It's too sticky and almost see-through, and I did line my lips first with Interrogate from Urban Decay, and I still just don't really like the way that it looks, and it comes off pretty fast as well. Then I also lined my waterline with the green from ColourPop. It is a teaspoon, and I did some black in my tight line just because I didn't do liner to cover up any of those gaps in there. First off, I forgot to tell you guys how they came packaged. So they each came in these little plastic containers. So, I mean, you can tell some of the ones with fallout definitely already had fallout in the container. And then I do believe that this is an at-home, run-at-home business. I don't know. We're just going to be a little upset right now. Yeah, so I do believe that she does run her business out of their home, presses the shadows on her own, which I think is absolutely amazing. I am all for supporting someone who is working from home. Overall, definitely better success today with a sticky base for the shimmer shadows, and of course using a fixing spray. I think they all look better using the fixing spray. With the mattes, I had a lot better luck with the mattes today as well. The only thing I'm disappointed, and I think it's kind of a hang up in my head, is that that green shade is not what I thought it was going to be. And that makes me super sad. But it very pigmented, worked well. I didn't have the fallout that I had yesterday from the shimmer shades, I think because of using the glitter glue. So I would recommend that. Really helps to grip that color, that powder to the lid so that you're not having all that fallout. I mean, these other shadows had good pigment too. The only thing that I'm upset about is that it didn't look exactly like the picture that I thought I was going to get, especially with Draco and, what is that one? Frank. Oh my gosh, I still can't remember that name. Well, based on first impressions, I love the shimmer shadows. I'm still not sure about this candy apple one. I've got to play with that a little more. And the mattes right now, I'm liking, but definitely with the color scheme of these not being what I thought it was, they're going to be shades that I pull in with other parts of my eyeshadow collection, which I'm totally fine with. They're single, so I can move them in and out from my different palettes. I think that is pretty much my overall first impression swatches tutorial of the AMI Hearts Beauty eyeshadows. And I will definitely be doing a follow-up video using these two and my pressed Pigment so that I can let you guys know a little further in-depth review of, you know, after using them more. And I'll use these shadows more too. It may take me a little while to get to that because I have so many other things coming up, but it'll be coming, so I'll know a little more about this brand, and I'm sure they will be starting to come out with other shadows as well. So let me know what you guys thought of the shades. This look is actually kind of growing on me. I don't usually wear such dark shades like that on that much of my eye, but with that ghost in there, I do like this look. Thank you guys so much for joining me for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe before you leave. Click that like button, put your notifications bell on, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.